What happened to Debo? The questions my toddler asked me. I have some answers for her. He's in Washington now. We'll talk about that fallout. We also have a lot of combine risers and fallers. I'm Pete Overzet. This is Best Ball Breakfast, drafting a few teams in the big board, dealing with the Debo and combine fallout. Let's do it.
It really isn't that hard, guys. You just go top two, win it, win it.
Okay, I think we can be done here at running back.
You only have 3 running backs. This roster is littered with game theory, arbitrage, exploits, and theoretic reasoning.
Bro, light mode, my eyes, dude.
I don't know. I prefer that move more in a time box contest.
Bro, have you ever scrolled so far down that there's no more names, bro?
Don't do drugs, kids. Draft and drive instead.
You can't have it both ways, dude. Quid pro quo.
All right, GM, what is up, Steph? What is up, Bindles? Gifting out some memberships. Appreciate that, Bindles. What's up, Chunk the Deuce? Tim, welcome to rookie overdraft season. Yeah, that's the bummer about doing the big board drafts post-combine. It's like, yeah, you want to draft the rookies. You want to get excited. You want to chase Matthew Golden up the board, and it's like the worst possible time. Because everyone wants to do that. So the smart move is probably grabbing some veterans in the next few days. Things generally chill out. You'll see those ADP slingshot, but as they come up, we'll discuss the individual spots here, and we'll see how frothy the people are in the big board streets here. What is up, AJ? Chad says Bindles must have been over in the cozy cottage with that Christmas spirit of giving. Oh my God. Yeah. I wonder how the cozy cottage is doing this morning. We might have to check in on them. Smooth Criminal. What's up, Graphic? What's up, B-Spurf? Look at all of the GMs. I know. I kid you not. So for those of you who haven't heard it on here before, heard me talk about it, way back in the fall, I was tilting a Niners game and I was like, come on, Debo. And April, my daughter, turns to me and says, what happened to Debo? And she knew it made me laugh. So since then, every once in a while, she'll just look at me and say, what happened to Debo? And I kid you not, the night that Debo Samuel got traded, we were putting her to bed. And she literally looked at me and goes, what happened to Debo? And I was able to tell her that he got a change of scenery. And she was very excited about that. So yes, that was a delightful plot twist there in the Debo saga. I have hopped myself in my first post-combine big board draft here, drafting from the 102. Tipped you guys off in the Discord. If you guys are YouTube members and you're in the Deposit Kingdom Discord, I'll try to let you know whenever I hop in drafts in the Best Ball Breakfast channel. And yeah, the 1-2 here. I believe I drafted from the 1-2 last week as well. Didn't I take a Barkley share and got accused of not being a piss bro anymore? Piss boy. Although piss bro sounds pretty good too. I believe this is my 5th big board draft because I've only done big boards on stream. So yeah, 2 Best Ball Breakfasts. This is the 3rd Best Ball Breakfast, 5th draft. And we'll see what we're going to do. Maybe I will mix it up here. Jamar Chase goes. Maybe I'll grab Bijan. I'm already diversifying. I've only done 5 big boards, and I want to have some of these other guys in here. So we'll grab Bijan this time. The GMs are still flowing here in the chat. Highlight from the weekend. Let's see. Another highlight. So April is obsessed with puppet shows. That's her favorite thing. Her birthday theme. We got her a little puppet show stage and she has all these puppets. And I'm always looking for activities in the area, local libraries, stuff like that. And there was a guy who was putting on a puppet show at a library that was a little further away from our house, 35-minute drive. I was like, no, we're going. April loves the puppet shows. It was really good. It was a legitimately good puppet show. April loved it. He did the story of the Lion and the Mouse. He did the Troll and the 3 Billy Goats, and it was great. And April loved it, had the time of her life. So that was a highlight of the weekend. And otherwise, we spent a lot of this weekend packing. Basically, right after Best Ball Breakfast, I am headed to the airport with the family. We're heading out to San Diego. So we were kind of just getting all of our, dare I say, ducks in a row for that. So a little busy. but excited for that trip this weekend. Yeah, Tuten is screaming up draft boards. Shout out to the chat. I think it was last week. You guys got me a Tuten share at like, let's see where I selected him in that best ball breakfast draft, because I was crowdsourcing with you guys some of the best late round picks. And here we go. Look at this. Look at this running back room. Trevion Henderson at 70. We took Jordan James at 214. And then we got Tuten at 238. Look at that CLV. Shout out to the best ball breakfast chat for getting me on Tuten before he destroyed the combine there. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see where a bunch of these guys go. What other kind of overreactions have you guys seen in the big board draft since the combine? I assume Golden is now on the rise a pretty good bit. Amarian Hampton, another big riser here. Apparently it's pronounced 210. Okay, this is good to know. This is good to know. Yeah, I actually think I knew that. I was still just saying Tuten because it's funnier. I was listening to Thor Nystrom and Kendall Valenzuela. They did a bunch of great combine breakdowns. Thor was actually in Indy. That's over on the Fantasy Life podcast feed and YouTube channel. Thor's absolutely crushing it with all of his combine coverage. I highly recommend his stuff over there if you guys are trying to stay on top of all of the latest. Him and Matthew Friedman been putting out a lot of updated mock drafts as well. Fantasy Life really beefing up the NFL draft coverage this year that I'm excited about. All right, we are about to pick at the 2-3 turn, pick 23 here. We started Bijan. Jonathan Taylor goes here. I think I'm going to go ahead and lock up Trey McBride and then be okay with whatever wide receiver comes back to me. So we start Bijan and Trey McBride in the late second. We'll see what all Boogie does here at the 2-3 turn. Other draft picks of note, Ashton Jeanty goes at the 1-2 turn there alongside Drake London. The Malik Neighbors drafter takes Brock Bowers. Trying to see, do we have some friends in here? We got Biff Tannen, we got X-Spin, we got Pugfather, Dab K. So we got a crew here in Best Ball Breakfast. If you missed out on the first draft, I'll be hopping in another one when this one is done. The one hole there taps both Tyreek Hill and Mike Evans, getting some of the veterans there. I think we'll roll with T. Higgins here. I believe, I don't know if I've gotten a share of him yet. We grabbed JSN last week. So little rainbow start here. Bijan Robinson, Trey McBride, and T. Higgins from the 2 hole here. 210's better than 110. Yeah, why take 110 when you can take 210? Yep. Denver talking about Tez Johnson. We were all what was his comp? He's buddies with Tank Dell. We're all hoping Tez Johnson was going to be him. Debo's in the mid 60s with the Jaden team. Yeah, that's another interesting one to look at here. I threw in the leg up rankings. Looks like they're directly in line with Deebo Samuel's market value. I think undoubtedly a great landing spot for Deebo. You can argue about whether he's washed up from last year. You can argue about the compensation that was given to acquire him or lack thereof. But I think you cannot argue it is an incredible landing spot for Deebo. To go somewhere without like a true bona fide alpha wide receiver, to go somewhere without a super, solidified backfield, no bell cow there where he can earn a few targets. You get the horizontal air raid there, that cliff, drawing up targets for Jamison Crowder and Zach Ertz and all of that underneath stuff. I think just an awesome fit. And then you get to be tied to an ascendant quarterback, an ascendant offense. Now he has to be good. Now he has to, bounce back efficiency wise. But man, pretty much the nut landing spot for Deebo. Obviously opens things up for the Niners as well. I assume Juwan Jennings is going to be on the rise here in drafts. Obviously Ricky Pearsall, Brandon Ayuk. All of them probably inching up here in ADP after this trade. Nick P likes it here. Going deep in the draft. I'm in the 111. Just saw you in the draft and pulled up live. Welcome, welcome. Don't snipe me. I almost said don't dupe me, but we're in draft season now. It's don't snipe me. Jeez, Steven, Tez is anorexic and ran too slow for a wide receiver. Good morning to you too, Steve. Good morning to you too. All right, this draft is whipping. Wow, we see Omarion Hampton go pick 42. All right, welcome to post combine. I don't even think that's crazy. If he's a mid first round pick, late first round pick at worst. So many good spots there. Seems solid to me. Let's see. We're good on tight end. We can probably push quarterback around. This feels like running back or wide receiver. If we look at ADP here, I don't think I've gotten a chance to select Jordan Addison yet. Let's take Jordan Addison. We'll see what the one hole does here after starting 3 wide receivers, and we can assess after that. But we start Bijan, Trey McBride, T. Higgins, Jordan Addison. And while we wait, I need a coffee pour here to get me going. Ladies and gentlemen, the first post-combine coffee pour. Wow, look at all Boogie. Look at all Boogie. This is how I used to draft. 4 straight wide receivers and then Joe Burrow. Should we take Jalen Hurts? Should we take Jalen Hurts? I mean, what do we have here? We just lost out on Burrow, although we weren't going to take Burrow here, I don't think. As far as stacking stuff, we have Kyler potentially later, JJ McCarthy. Let's go ahead and take Jalen Hurts. Jalen Hurts slides, 7 picks past ADP here. We're going to start this draft with a near rainbow flop. 1 quarterback, 1 tight end, 1 running back, 2 wide receivers. Jalen Hurts joins Bijan, Trey McBride, T. Higgins, and Jordan Addison. What's up, JGFC? You miss me? I feel like I've been around. I'm maybe not streaming every single day, but I'm still out here in the streets, but I miss you too, man. I will say maybe you'll miss me more this week because I am, after this show, I should have a show on Friday at some point, live from San Diego for the NBA Dog Bowl. That will be off and on the clock this week. We're still figuring out when exactly that will be. But otherwise, no more shows for me until next Best Ball Breakfast. Or not even, sorry. I'm traveling back that Monday. So it won't be until probably Swolecast next Tuesday. So I am going to be on break here for the next week outside of that off and on the clock show. And but I will say, I'm going to have a video coming out on the Deposit Kingdom channel, hopefully in the next day or two. That video is off to the editor, Chris, and getting finalized. Excited to see you, for you guys to check that out. So you can keep an eye out to the Deposit Kingdom channel. I have not made a video on that channel since the season ended. So I would appreciate it if you guys aren't subscribed over there. Make sure you are subscribed to the Deposit Kingdom channel. And going to start ramping up some videos over there. Have 2 in the works right now. That's right. Pete filling out that starting lineup like a boss. Used to be the criticism, right? I remember we would go to the FFPC high stakes drafts like way back when, this is like 7-8 years ago. And, you'd make fun of the teams that took their quarterback, their tight end, their defense, not so much the tight end because it was FFPC. So you had the tight end premium, but that was the normie thing to do. Right. And now in these rooms and in these, the way these tournaments are structured where you want the upside at each individual position. I don't know. I don't hate it as much as I used to. No Swolecast. I don't know what those guys are doing. I alerted them that I was not going to be available to do a show this week. So you're in their hands. I cannot micromanage Dave and Davis and their plans. But yes, I will not be available for the Swolecast this week. Jeez, Ben. Coming in hot, my man. This is too kind. Ben, I always want to say Harvard. It's not Harvard. Harvard. Hopefully I'm pronouncing that right after you sent me a $99 super chat. Jeez, man. Appreciate you. Thanks for all the content, keeping us all entertained 11 months of the year. I'd like to sponsor a bigger board for the first draft next week. Finally, we will get to draft along with spring break. Awesome, dude. Yeah, we will definitely do that. I mean, how about this, Ben? Do you want to do a bigger board in the next draft? Because I'm not going to have, you know what I might do? Maybe I'll do best ball breakfast on Tuesday morning next week because I'll be back. I get back late on Monday, so I won't be able to do best ball breakfast Monday. Maybe we do one Tuesday. How does that sound? We plan on best ball breakfast on Tuesday. We can do a bigger board draft. I'm going to make note of that right now. Tuesday, BBB with bigger board, sponsored by Ben. Very nice of you, dude. I appreciate that. And I am on the clock here. So let me figure out what I'm going to do here. Khalil Shakur, Jalen McMillan. Let's see. Let's go ahead. Shakir just got paid. He's not my favorite player in the world. Actually, I'm going to take Jayden Reed first. I can't quit Jayden Reed. I loved selecting him last year and didn't really work out. But we're going to go back to the Jayden Reed well there, even though Josh Jacobs pretty much said mean things about him and the rest of those wide receivers. I think it was at the Super Bowl saying we didn't have a real wide receiver one, which is tough, but fair. But I still love Jayden Reed here. What's up, Kendrick? Audio listeners, stand up. Yes. Always servicing the audio listeners here. Actually, after I make this pick, I have another thing to remind some of my audio listeners. Let's see here. Okay, we are back on the clock. I think we do go with Shakir here. I'd taken some Caleb Johnson. I know he was kind of a combine faller as far as not testing as well. Let's see if we could maybe get a little bit of a better discount on him. We'll go ahead and take Shakir, get our fourth wide receiver. And now we have through 7 rounds, Jalen Hurts at quarterback, Bijan as our anchor running back, our wide receivers, T. Higgins, Jordan Addison, Jayden Reed, Khalil Shakur at wide receiver, and then Trey McBride at tight end there. Geez, Dean. Do I pay off my credit card or put $1,000 in my account for big board drafts? Pay off your credit card first. Please, Dean. Yes. The safe bet is no Swolecast this week. Paul, do you think I care about when Davis is streaming? I think Davis can make a concession, or we'll go head to head, or maybe we'll collab. Maybe we'll do a collab. Let's see. Ben says, I'm back in class in 30 minutes, so I'd love to run it next Tuesday. Okay, perfect. Yeah, Ben gets to dictate it. Here. Okay. Let's see here. What else was? Oh, I wanted to talk about the audio listeners. So I do the After Dark shows, do some extra premium shows during the season, obviously with the Crams. And I'd gotten lots of comments previously of people want those in podcast form, in audio form, in the way YouTube, doesn't allow for an RSS feed. And if I uploaded them, then I have a hard time keeping it gated. Through the Spotify where I host my podcast, they have a subscription. And so what I'm going to start doing is uploading both the video and audio to that private subscription feed. And you get a private URL, and it's basically an alternative. If you're like, hey, Pete, I don't need to watch After Dark live on Saturday night, but I'd love to be able to listen to it the next day, the day after, whatever, in my podcast feed, have it pop up there, be able to download it, take it on the go. There is now that option for you. It's basically an alternative to being a YouTube member if you just want that content on the go. The things you're not able to get with that are obviously watching it live, because that is hosted on YouTube, and then getting access to the Discord, because that's a perk that's synced with YouTube and the Discord. that requires no additional kind of manual work by me. So if you just want that content in audio form for $4.99 a month over on Spotify, you can now subscribe to that. And I recently made, I have the first 3 episodes up from After Dark. So there's the episode with Pat Mayo, there's the episode with Blender, and then the episode with Cooterdoodle from Saturday night. So all evergreen conversations, talking behind the scenes stuff, content, business. Talked with Cooterdoodle on Saturday about her experience at the Super Bowl. Fun conversations there. So if you guys want access to those in audio form, that is the best way to do that now. All right. We're about to pick at 8:11. We started Jalen Hurts, Bijan Robinson. We got T. Higgins, Jordan Addison, Jaden Reed, Khalil Shakur. Now we got Trey McBride. We got a ton of quarterbacks up here, although I'm not seeing a ton that I want stacking-wise. I think, did Jordan Love already go? No, Jordan Love's back here, but maybe see if Jordan Love comes back around. So this feels like it's going to be a running back or tight end. Let's see. What do we want to do here? Do we have anything that's kind of correlated? The guy behind me is definitely interested in running back. I should probably get my second running back. I like Etienne here. Let's go ahead and buy the dip on Etienne. That's been an offense I've been trying to kind of target when I get the opportunity, getting shares of Christian Kirk, of Etienne, of Lawrence, Ingram, whether he stays or goes. Still like the Jags is being undervalued here. I think we could see a nice bounce back from Etienne. So I'll add him as my second running back. And then we could do a third running back. Nick likes Ramondre or Najee. I could also grab another tight end here with Jonnu and Mark Andrews. Those are the slight ADP values with those guys dropping. I kind of been leaning third running back. Like, we kind of know what's going to happen in this draft, right? The rookie running backs that normally are pretty available, post combine, are all going to get pushed up. So we might not like the running back depth quite as much. Let's go ahead and do Najee. Najee, a free agent. Still kind of curious to see where he lands. But he seems like a nice third running back here. Bijan, Travis Etienne, and Najee. And we'll push QB2 and tight end 2 down the road a little bit. There you go. Division correlation. Nick says, I seem to be fully off Etienne and just scooping Tank 2 rounds earlier. I never begrudge people for playing like an ambiguous backfield through the cheaper direction, but I still feel pretty confident that Etienne is the better all-around running back. I think it's just a tighter needle to thread with Tank, where you are going to have to hang your hat on volume a little bit more, where I think even in scenarios where it's a split backfield, Etienne's going to catch some passes. I still think he's the better bet for explosive plays, even from what we saw from Tank last year. So I do think it's smart to take stabs on both, but I do prefer Etienne, I think, straight up at cost. Let's see. Downs here says round 1 to 2, first or second round running back plus Judkins plus Najee now feels like the slam dunk anchor build. Yeah, I mean, getting one of these top running backs in the first couple of rounds, or even getting the discounted Brees or Kyron. I mean, we kind of talked about this on Ship Chasing on, what was it, last Thursday? Pat and I drafted a team, and like the whole concept of the dead zone or the fragile areas of the board that used to exist, I feel like it's completely spread out this year. Like, I think there's really solid picks in each of these rounds. You can look at the James Cook, Chase Brown, Amari, and Hampton run here in the 4th. That feels like a really boom bust, but viable tier there as far as any of those guys we know can explode. Then you get kind of the veteran volume guys in the 5th, Mixon, Kamara, Chuba come off the board. And then you got some exciting guys in round 6 and 7 with all the rookies, some of the second-year players. You can play the volume game with James Conner, Tony Pollard. It's like you can kind of go down the board. I I don't know. I'm hesitant to say there's like a dominant structural strategy for running back right now. Like, I guess it's just not jumping out at me looking at the board. I think you could build really strong 0 RB teams. You could build really strong double anchor teams. So yeah, I think right now that leads me to kind of just wanting to play best player available, read the room, so to speak, because there are pretty nice pieces at each juncture of the draft board. Yeah, this is a risk for literally any running back. And maybe this is the the extension of that conversation. Huhaim says, wonder if Cohen brings any personnel to Jacksonville or another running back, or gets to pick his guy in the draft. Like, this running back class being so deep and so good, basically every backfield outside of, ones like Atlanta and, Detroit that are already hyper solidified, everyone is at risk of having a significant threat enter the backfield and absolutely blow up their ADP. I mean, that's the game we're playing right now. All right, we are about to pick at 119 here. We got a 1-3-4-1 build going. God, Biff snipes me. God damn it, Biff. He takes Travis Hunter, who I was going to slam in right there. I think what we'll be doing, we still have a ton of these quarterbacks here. I kind of like with the Etienne. I'm going to keep trying to get overweight on Christian Kirk. I'm tilting this Travis Hunter snipe. Deep breaths. Let's take Christian Kirk instead. And then I think we can probably do Trevor Lawrence here and do a Trevor Lawrence with Etienne and Christian Kirk stack. We didn't get Kyler to come back. Jordan Love didn't come back. So I think playing the Trevor Lawrence angle here makes sense. All right, let's add Trevor Lawrence. Drake May to T. Higgins for all the glory. Yeah, that would have been another Galaxy Brain stack. It just seems like no free agent wants to go play for New England. It is like hilarious the amount of people and players they threw money at. What was it? Like Ayuk last year had no interest. Who was it? Ridley. They tossed a ton of money at, and he's like, nah, I'm good. The stench on New England for wide receivers. No one wants to go there. The closest New England has ever gotten to signing a wide receiver was that one time Larry Fitzgerald, or a guy who looked like Larry Fitzgerald, was spotted at the at Boston Logan Airport. Kendrick says, Pete, will you still do your collab with Spags? Yeah, why not? No, I want to do a show with Spags. We got to I have lots of people I want to start drafting with. Just haven't gotten into that full-blown drafting mode yet. Really only drafting on Best Ball Breakfast on Mondays and kind of just doing a couple solos. But as the summer ramps up, I'll be doing collabs on the Deposit Kingdom channel, guests on here, guests on Ship Chasing. So yes, plenty of drafting with friends in the future. Sus says, an ESPN Jags insider said the belief within the org is that in 2025, it'll be a 50-50 Etienne Bigsby split, then allowing Etienne to walk and making Bigsby the workhorse. Cohen made similar comments about 2025. It's funny because like every single year we've entered the season, there's been so much hype on Tank Bigsby. He was one of the biggest risers in ADP when he was a rookie, and then flopped. Had a better year last year. It still feels like a lot of coach speak trying to manifest Tank Bigsby being maybe more than what he is. But I do think a 50-50 split sounds reasonable. And if you get an offensive upgrade, that they're just more successful or the run game is better, then we know both of those guys can smash an ADP in this range. I think you could have in the really plus scenarios, it's like the Bucky Irving, Rashad White dynamic, or you could have just like basically like a Titans dynamic, right? Where you have a Tony Pollard and a Tajay Spears And if the offense is a little bit better, then I think you take stabs on those backfields where they're ambiguous, they're cheap, they both have contingent upside for each other as well, that you're getting that. And I just like betting on the Jags this year being a lot more competent. So yeah, I'm with you guys. I like both of those guys. Tank Bigsby in this draft went at 121. Have no problem with that. Let's check in on some of the other rookie prices in here. Since we've been drafting, obviously I was tilting Travis Hunter at 118. We saw Cam Scatabo, who I believe is saving his 40 for his pro day. Didn't run at the combine. Devin Neal goes at 131. Oh, there goes 210. Our guy 210 went at pick 138 there in the 12th round. Seems fine. Seems very fine. Definitely getting like DeVaughn Etienne vibes from him. You're probably paying a slight just immediate post-combine bump there, but it's hard to really nitpick the price in this range. Let's see here. We're about to pick at 12-11 here. What do we need? We got a 2-3-5-1. So we have our Jalen Hurts and our Trevor Lawrence, and we are going to select, I think, Evan Ingram for sure. I know we don't know for 100% certain that Evan Ingram is still going to be on the Jags, but I feel like you could almost get a 2 for the price of 1 here, where if I get the onslaught with the Jags, that's great. Sign me up for that. And then if one of Ingram or Kirk, get cut or traded, then the other should see a bump in value via, some additional target share there. So I don't mind loading up. We grabbed Evan Ingram, and now we're on what? How many straight Jags players have we selected? 3 straight Jags. Christian Kirk, Trevor Lawrence, Evan Ingram. And now we're back on the clock here. The Coke heads, I'm sure, are screaming. We could do Trey Benson, pair him up with Trey McBride with the Cardinals. We could also become a Coke head potentially. Wide receiver definitely thinning out a little bit. Let's become a Coke head. You know what? The chat wanted me to draft Jalen Coker last week, and I took Travis Hunter instead. This week, Travis Hunter goes 20-some picks ahead. So there you go, Coke Nation. I'm on your side. I just selected Jalen Coker as my wide receiver 6. Now you can't be mad. You can't be mad that I kept selecting Travis Hunter over him because I just took your boy. Yeah, so let's have this conversation here. Because I think 2 things can be true. Gab in the chat says 210 at 138. Laugh my ass. I have almost 20% at average cost of 205, maybe even 210. So 2 things can be true. The first thing that can be true is that he's going to get overdrafted immediately following the combine, right? This is peak hysteria, peak mania. It's the same thing that's going to happen right after the NFL draft, right? The rookies who go to the best landing spots are going to get overdrafted. And then eventually the ADPs will correct to a more efficient range. That's just what happens. There's too many smart people drafting in mass for these ADPs not to correct to a reasonable spot. So that part can be true. The other part can be true as well, that you do not stop selecting a guy just because a portion of the draft pool was already selecting him. We just pulled up where I took him at pick 228. You do not select a guy that we now have new information on, new information that indicates he is going to go higher in the draft than he was likely to go before. Like, that legitimately changes his outlook. It changes his draft capital, which should change his fantasy outlook. So he should be more expensive. And when you're talking about ADP movements with opportunity cost, there is such a huge difference between a player moving from, say, like the 11th or 12th round to the 4th round. That is a huge difference. But moving from the 19th round, the 18th round to the 12th round, that is still a nearly negligible difference as it pertains to opportunity cost. We always talk about these guys as values as auction dollars. You're talking about a guy going from a $1 value to a $3 or $4. That is not a big deal. You could still draft 210 at these prices, even though there's other drafters who have him cheaper. You think about the auction scenario when a 12th round pick who's worth $3 or $4 moves to the 4th round, and now you're going from a $4 value to a $25 value. That is a more significant opportunity cost. That is harder to win the 2v2 in your individual draft. I'm not concerned about going against 2v2s, better 2v2s between a 12th and 20th round. So that is my ADP riser philosophy there. But if you want to chill on him for a little bit, let him cool off, let him come back down, buy the dip on some of these other guys that didn't have quite as good of a combine, I don't mind that strategy at all. All right, I need some more coffee here. Don't ask Steve how old he is. We can't do this again. All right, let me see. Yeah, someone mentioned Golden. I didn't see where he went in this one. I wanted to flag that. Where did Golden go? Okay, Matthew Golden went at pick 73 in the 7th round. So yeah, he went right after I took Khalil Shakur. Matthew Golden went. If he is gonna go, what people think he's gonna go top 20 in the NFL draft now. This price doesn't seem insane to me. I still think I definitely prefer like Pearsall, Ayuk ahead of him. But then once you're in this, Rashid Shaheed, Josh Downs, Cooper Kupp, Darnell Mooney, Jacoby Myers. I mean, yeah, it doesn't seem that insane to me, him going in the 80s there. All right, we got a 2-3-6-2. We're about to pick at 14-11. I think, Biff just really sniping me today. Takes JJ McCarthy. And the thing about Biff is he's always doing all these random unstacked QBs here. Let's see. Do we do a Tyler Algier with Bijan? I actually don't hate that. An Adam Thielen with Coker. Let's see. Let's do Adam Thielen. And even though we already lost out on Bryce Young, I don't mind getting an extra stack there. Bryce Young goes at pick 140. Man, I can't believe I just selected Adam Thielen. Should I do the little backfield cucking with Algier and Bijan? Or should we pull up one of these rookies? Let's do a little cucking. I mean, Leg Up has this as a pretty big rankings value, almost 20 picks past. I have kind of a thin running back room, and I'm more lenient on the cucking when we've seen Algier have a decent standalone role, right? Like it doesn't have to be contingent on Bijan getting hurt, that Algier can give you some usable weeks at 170. So that's myself talking me into the Algier pick there. Yeah, someone Nick mentioning the 43% fill rate for the contest too as well. So the number of teams that you're competing with, like the super teams, is still less than 40% of the contest, which I think is a good shout. It's a lot different if it's you're grabbing the player when the contest is 90% filled, and now there's a huge value shift there. Nick says I should have gone JJ over Coker given the ADPs. That's probably fair. Although I would say I don't feel as panicked about quarterback when I have Hurts. I think if I had another quarterback later, then you start to be like, all right, I need to get this third quarterback here. But with Hurts and Lawrence, I still ideally will add a third quarterback here. but just don't feel quite as shut out. I think I can be comfortable with a 2 quarterback build here, right? One elite quarterback, also a quarterback that we know is not at risk of getting benched. If this was Best Ball Mania, I would be shutting it down at quarterback almost for sure there. And we can see if there's another quarterback that would make sense. Maybe this is a Justin Fields team. Just saw a report recently that Fields is kind of who the Steelers are leaning to internally right now, as far as them kind of being on record that they're going to choose between a Fields or Russ to enter the season. So that kind of starts to make Fields a little more attractive. Although, did he just get drafted? Yeah, he just got drafted. So much for that. This draft is whipping here. I think so. Well, maybe not. Maybe we're at a good pace. We've been drafting for about 40 minutes. It's decent. Why is Sharb 60 picks higher than Algier? 60 picks, you make a decent point. Maybe that gap should be smaller, but I certainly would like Sharbs over Algier. He's way more of a pass catcher. He has way more outs to, I think, carving out a role that's not dependent on an injury in a way that Tyler Algier is never going to get, 20 touches in that backfield for as long as Bijan is healthy. We've also seen, I think, more explosive plays from Charbonnet as well. I think he just has more outs to hitting, but I think it's a fair point. It's just that Bijan is such a bigger impediment to fantasy value than Kenneth Walker is, who has been very boom busty. They've been willing to pull him at the goal line for Zach Charbonnet. He's also more injury prone, at least so far through his career, has missed a lot of games relative to Bijan. So I think there's a lot of reasons why Charbonnet is going higher, but I think your point stands. I think 60 is a pretty big gap there. All right. What do we want to do here? Let's, should we do Jordan James again? He's been a guy that we've been kind of targeting a bit. I think we can come back and get one of these wide receivers we like, Wan'Dale Robinson. We could do another Arizona guy there. Let's go ahead and grab Jordan James. I feel like we're going to lose out on some running back targets pretty quickly. We could do the all Etienne team. That could be fun. Let's see. Michael Wilson, Troy Franklin, Savion Williams here. I always kind of like doing the additional team stacks. We have Trey McBride. We missed out on Trey Benson. Let's go ahead and grab Michael Wilson here. Jackson Dart, another quarterback option being floated. Yeah, Tyler says Algier is a fantastic handcuff with some standalone value, underpriced for sure. Yeah, and he's the exact kind of guy that gets lost in the shuffle post like the rookie mania, right? There is something to be said about a guy who exactly what his role is going to be. I get it's like so hard to fathom a scenario where he's not the RB2 on that team. I guess the Falcons could do something hilariously stupid and draft one of these running backs and he's in more of a split, like pull a New York Jets where they just keep like drafting these running backs. The team who, drafted Michael Penix, I guess that shouldn't be a shocker, but yeah, I think a very stable asset. Dabk has a couple Etienne stacks. Don't dupe me, bro. I know there's a lot of fun ones like that. So you got the Etienne ones. There's the we stumbled upon it on ship chasing. We had the double McMillan stack. There's some good ones there. Wow, the chat accusing me of needing more fun in my room. Let me read this off for the audio listeners and tell me if this team's not enough fun. Okay, Jalen Hurts and Trevor Lawrence at quarterback, running back Bijan, Travis Etienne, Najee, Tyler Algier, and Jordan James. Wide receiver. Okay, actually, you're completely right. This team is not fun. Wide receiver T. Higgins, Jordan Addison, Jaden Reed, Khalil Shakur, Christian Kirk, Jalen Coker, Adam Thielen, Michael Wilson, tight end Trey McBride, Evan Ingram. Yeah, this is an eliminator ass team. At first, I was like, wait, what do you mean this team isn't fun? And then I looked through it. I was like, yeah, you're right. As far as like a post-combine team, it's not much fun. Bindles wants me to feed the ducks. We can feed the ducks during the second draft. Can you imagine? Aaron says a three-headed monster of Bijan, Gene T, and Algier. Can you imagine? Adam Thielen is ironically fun. I know. It is like the journey you go on with some of these players, you know, from wouldn't ever touch Adam Thielen in a draft. And then it's like the stages of grief. And then there's like acceptance. And I'm like, fine, I'll take Adam Thielen in some battle royales. And now I'm like, all right, I'm just like the Alonzo Mourning gif, like every time with some of these olds where I'm just like, okay, I guess I can kind of see it. The one thing that gets me, or to disabuse myself of my player takes is correlation. It's like, all right, we got Jalen Coker. We need Bryce Young. We need this offense to hum. Maybe you can get the Adam Thielen first 8 weeks, Jalen Coker second 8 weeks, and Frankenstein them into one, wide receiver 3. I don't know. What do we think about, we have nothing correlated here with Jalen Hurts. What do we think about a Will Shipley with him? I think that could make some sense. Will Shipley up here, leg up, has a decent rank on him, 204 relative to ADP 230. It'd be nice to have one other Philly piece here. I think that makes sense. We'll add him as our 6th running back. And then we have 2 more picks. We're at a 2.682. Who had the better combine, Elijah Arroyo or Mason Taylor? I feel like I didn't hear much about either of those guys. Let's see here. Christian Fernandez is fired up. Lifelong Commanders fan. Love the Debo pickup. Yeah. I think Commanders fans should be very happy. I know Matthew was very happy about that. Raphael says, Best Ball Breakfast is back. Indeed. In fact, it's been back for 3 weeks now. But we are back in the saddle. Taylor ran a great gauntlet. Okay, Taylor for sure. Wait, now I'm confused. Now he said they both skipped, but they're saying Taylor had a great gauntlet. So Taylor skipped the testing, but did some of the other drills. All right. Should we keep grabbing Mason Taylor here? All right, let's grab Mason Taylor. Taylor feels like a good third tight end here. We add him with Trey McBride, Evan Ingram. So we have a 2.683. So now the question comes, do we take are there any quarterback flyers here? I'll read off to you guys the best available by ADP. Leg Up doesn't even have any of these guys ranked right now. Kirk Cousins, Russell Wilson, Jalen Milroe, Jameis Winston, Joe Milton, Daniel Jones, Spencer Rattler. Didn't this guy Tyler have a good combine? How do you pronounce his name? Is it Shock? Didn't he have a big boost there, but probably pretty risky? Might just be a 2 quarterback ass team. Spencer Rattler a lock to start week 17. If they don't add a third quarterback, right? Like they could be a team that drafts another quarterback, right? Like they saw a decent amount of Spencer Rattler. I don't know if they love him enough to not take another dart on a QB in this draft. Tyler Shuck. Thank you. I knew it had kind of an unconventional pronunciation relative to the spelling. Tuten just went 11th round in Burgundy Bets draft, only 43% full, but that's nearly half of the teams with him as an 18th, 19th round addition. Yeah, I already did my rant about this earlier. Like I said, I think the super frothy pricing today will be ridiculous. Conceptually, I don't have a problem chasing a running back up the board into a range that has not historically been proven to come with a ton of opportunity cost. One thing, like when I talk about these things, one of the things too that informs a lot of it, and I talked about this in the Scroll the F Down video on the Deposit Kingdom last year, and I talked with Sacrilegious, who did a lot of nice work on this over at Legendary Upside, basically looking at the curve of production relative to ADP. And basically what his studies showed was that around pick 140-ish in drafts, ADP stops being a meaningful predictor for fantasy points. So that is to say, the market is really good at ordering these players through the first 10, 11, maybe 12 rounds. After that, all bets are off. We are collectively really bad at it. You could just go and pick any player that you like after those, and you're not hemorrhaging value. You're not saying, I know better to the market in the way you would be, taking a guy 3 rounds earlier in round 5, that should be a round 8 pick. So when we're talking about Hampton moving up into this range at pick 138 in this draft, this is still a portion of the draft where ADP no longer predicts how a player is going to perform. So we can start to quibble if he's moving up into pick 120, 110. But I just don't find the arguments that compelling that you should stop taking him when we've gotten new information that I think is significant relative to his draft capital. But I'm done with Tuten rants. I'm done. If you don't want to take him anymore, go for it. All right, I think we're not going to do another quarterback here. Should we do the double Etienne thing? I think we should do the double Etienne thing. I think double Etienne sounds fun. I think we had drafted Khalil Mullings on a team last week. We're at 8 wide receivers here. I'm just looking at my draft capital at wide receivers. T, Addison, Reed, Khalil in the first 74. Running back. I think we can do the Etienne thing. There's no quarterbacks. It would basically be a running back or a wide receiver. All of these wide receivers, we had Ricky White, who didn't have too good of a combine. Tez Johnson didn't have a combine. These guys aren't going anywhere. Probably, like all things being equal, should have been a wide receiver pick, but I wanted to draft both Etiennes. Sue me. Okay, here's the team. The most boring ass post-combine, post-Debo trade team. I got 3 rookies. No one from the 49ers trade fallout. It's quite possibly one of the most unsexy teams possible. I'm sure people have drafted more unsexy teams. There are people who don't want to touch a single rookie. I think I heard someone call the rookies bumblebees because of their yellow little faceless avatars. I love that. I absolutely love that as a scathing critique of a rookie chaser. Dude's obsessed with these fucking bumblebees, man. You see the screenshot of that bros team? Can't stop drafting bumblebees. All right, here's the team for the audio listeners. 2783, 2 quarterbacks, Jalen Hurts and Trevor Lawrence. Running backs, got up to 7 of them. Jeez. Bijan Robinson, Travis Etienne Jr., Najee Harris, Tyler Algier, Jordan James, Will Shipley, and Trevor Etienne. 2 Etienne brothers, some plotters, some rookies, Bijan. Man, what a high T running back room. Wide receiver, T. Higgins, Jordan Addison, Jaden Reed, Khalil Shakur, Christian Kirk, Jalen Coker, Adam Thielen, Michael Wilson. Probably the oldest wide receiver room I've ever drafted. My God. Couldn't get one fun pick in there. Tight ends, Trey McBride, Evan Ingram, and Mason Taylor. I think I'm done asking you guys for grades. I think I'm done. I think I've received enough grades. All right, Tyler says via a super chat, as the official Best Ball Breakfast ambassador, do you care to comment on whether Jalen Milroe's hand enlargement technique was influenced by Best Ball Brunch? I am terrified about what I'm about to Google because I do not know what you are referencing. Hang on. What's this hand gate here? Jalen Milroe's hand gate. Gosh, get out of there with this ad blocker. Someone tell me what I need to find a site without these goddamn ad blockers here. So they grew a half an inch since the Senior Bowl. Milroe's, Jesus, I can't talk. Milroe's hands were measured 5'8". These goddamn ad blockers. You're trying to read an article. All right. So his hand size measured in at 8 3/4 inches at the Senior Bowl. 1 month later at the NFL Combine, his hand measured more than half an inch bigger at 9 3/8 inches. So his hands have somehow grown by 5/8 of an inch in 28 days. The likely explanation is that Milroe wasn't spreading his hand properly when it was measured at Mobile. That's hilarious. I kind of like that though. I kind of like that. You sandbag it. Like if you're doing a weight loss competition, you eat a shit ton of food right before you do the first weigh-in. He had to sandbag it there. His height remained the same while his weight dropped 3 pounds from 220 to 217. All right. There you go. Jalen Milroe, hand gate. Is the 1964 build optimal? Sure. Sure, it's optimal. All right, I'm hopping in another one here. Yeah, very good part. Not the first body part I'd enlarge, but to each their own. Maybe he was enlarging a different body part, and one of the byproducts of the enlargement, medicine was it also made your hands bigger. Senior Bowl messed up the measuring. So look at there's a lot of people casting blame here. That article made it sound like Milroe didn't spread his hands as wide as they should have. And now we're saying that the Senior Bowl messed it up. Lots of people pointing fingers here. Steph, I told you I didn't ask for a grade. Didn't ask for a grade. That was an unsolicited grade. I bet Jerry Jones. Jerry Jones. It probably takes every bone in his body for Jerry Jones to not tell every player to drop trow in front of him for him to do his own special investigation. Steph, we literally just pulled this up on screen and talked about it. His hand grew from Senior Bowl to Combine. We just talked about it. Steph, you're giving out grades and not paying attention to what's happening on the show. Thank you, Charlie. Consensual grades only. All right, we got the 1-4 in our 6th big board draft. The 1-4. Okay, what are we doing? Hollywood Brown 101? Are we going to all waste each other's time? What are we doing? Come on. Should I just push the plane? Should I just push the plane and hop in another one? Is this I don't want to waste my time. I'm seriously pushing the plane. Here, I'm going to take Jahmyr Gibbs and push the plane. We're done. I'm not wasting my time. Let's go do another one. New draft. I refuse. I refuse to do a 20-round draft that's probably going to get thrown out. And then we get the 101. That's how you push the plane. That is a goddamn masterclass in pushing the plane. Dox that user for being a beta cuck. Yeah, let's go ahead and let's get his name on here. The user who did this was Hybrid Dad. Hybrid Dad. But the plane has been pushed. We now got the 101. Thank you, Brett. Brett going with there's good people on both sides says Hollywood is good value, but not this high. Thank you, Brett. But not that high. As in the 101. That's funny. Super Bowl drafters strike again. If people miss this meta to Big Board, when Big Board opened, but before the and I am going to take Jamar Chase here 101. People were drafting exclusively Chiefs Eagles in some of those early Big Board drafts because they thought it was a Super Bowl contest. So I do love the idea that there's some big-brained idiot out here still trying to draft Super Bowl contest teams 2 months after the Super Bowl or whatever. All right, Sean's in here. Wait, he's back in this draft. I swear. Okay, so Hybrid Dad is now in this draft? What is he? What's going on? Hybrid Dad, are you in the chat? Reveal yourself. Reveal yourself. Yeah, he's trying to Brett, is this you? Are you Hybrid Dad? Because you're making first you're like, I like Hollywood Brown as a value. And then you're like, he's a father too, just like you, Pete. I'm starting to think, Brett, that you might be Hybrid Dad. I'm very confused by what's going on with Hybrid Dad right now. Look, the fact that he was able to get into that draft, to me, indicates that he's watching the stream. Hybrid Dad, look, I will take it easy on you if you reveal yourself in the chat right now and you explain what happened with the Hollywood Brown selection. Were you trying to be funny? Was it an accident? If it was an accident, how did he end up there? I want to understand what happened. Hollywood is unconscionable, but I did accidentally take Tet at the 101 when starring rookies and my chase click didn't stick. This is probably what it is, right? This is probably the Occam's razor here is the Davis Maddox star method strikes again. But what sick person, what unbelievably sick person hops in a draft and the very first thing they do is they say, I cannot forget to take Hollywood Brown. That's the first thing you star. At least in your example, you're starring Tet. You're like, got to get this rookie. Again, though, how are you going to forget Tet? I cannot be less of a fan of the star method. I promise you it has hurt more teams than it has ever helped. It has caused more drafts to get thrown out than it ever has expedited a draft. The star method is not a net good on society. The star method is a net negative on the best ball ecosystem. And we should all collectively, I think I've said it before, that we should press charges against it. We should eradicate it. There needs to be some safeguards in place. Like you can't put someone in the queue that is 100 picks away from their ADP. I don't know. That's probably too punitive, but we need to find a way to reel back in the star method. I'm not calling this my 7th draft. This is still my 6th draft. Producer Mark mentioned that it's my 7th draft because I did do one with Pat. That is true. So let me go ahead and update this. So this is the 7th and or 8th draft, depending on how much of a stickler you want to be. So Hybrid Dad starts Nico and T. Higgins. So he's back on the straight and narrow. All right, we're on the clock here at the 1-2 turn. Let's see. We could do Breece Hall or Jonathan Taylor. Let's do Jonathan Taylor. Let's do Jonathan Taylor. Slides a little bit past ADP here to pick 24. And I think I'm just going to keep gobbling up Trey McBride. Sue me. I'm sorry. You can call this another boring draft. You can say it's not fun that Pete just drafts the same players over and over again. I like Trey McBride. I like Brock Bowers. What can I say? We're going to start Jonathan Taylor, Jamar Chase, Trey McBride. Pete's filling out his starting lineup again. Guilty. Guilty. Hybrid Dad is Hollywood Brown. It's his account, and he just believes in himself. See, Hybrid Dad, I get this was the star method because he's just straight pissing. Hybrid Dad starts Nico Collins, T. Higgins, and Jackson Smith and Jigba. This plot just keeps thickening. Kendrick says, I know Brett personally. He is Hybrid Dad. Brett, is this true? Is this too? $5 super chat incoming from Hybrid Dad asking for the sauce. Let's go see what's happening in this other draft that I put the plane on. Hollywood Brown, Bucky, T, Mixon, Rashi Rice. And what do I have going? Jahmyr Gibbs, Ladd, Breece Hall, Jalen Hurts. This draft better get thrown out. Oh no, sorry. This is a slow draft. These are my war rooms. Where's my big board draft? Here we go. Hybrid Dad, Brett, I'm telling you right now, is this true, Sus, over in that other draft? Push the plane. Push the plane. You do not get to tank a draft, cause me to hop in another one, have to push the plane without you also pushing the plane. If you're going to be in this new draft with me, you have to push the plane on that other one. I swear to God, Brett. I seriously think this might have been his technique. WFN Warehouse says he fooled you into auto drafting. New meta unlocked. It's like I draft 2 teams a week, and someone wants to come in here and ruin it, ruin one of them. No. I might have to call in some favors. I might have to let Big Underdog know about this cat. Either that, or here's the thing, Hybrid. You full-blown apology in the chat right now. Full-blown apology, and we will maybe consider letting you off scot-free. I'm willing to forgive, but we need to see some contrition from Hybrid Dad here. All right, we're moving on though. We are drafting a team. We are moving on, and we are now picking at the 4-5 turn. let's see here. So we started JT, Jamar Chase, Trey McBride. Joe Burrow goes. I don't even think I would have taken him at 4 or 5. It still feels a little frothy for me. I like the Zay Flowers dip here a little bit. He slides past ADP. I still like Zay. We were kind of talking about him on ship chasing. Pat was a little lower on him than me. I just really don't like Devontae Adams. Chuba has been a guy. I was listening to the Leg Up guys talk about him. They're pretty high on him. Kind of another kind of safe, stable asset here. Let's go ahead and grab Chuba. Maybe we could get redemption on a Carolina team stack with Bryce Young a little later after missing out on that in the last draft. So here's our start. Jonathan Taylor and Chuba at running back, Jamar Chase and Zay Flowers at wide receiver, Trey McBride at tight end, and deep breaths. Omarion Hampton in this draft goes at 46. So again, in the 4th round, Kyron Williams fell to the 4th round in this one. Where did Tet go? Tet went in the middle of the 4th, pick 43. This is a troll. I do not believe. This is a good troll. It's a good troll. So someone with the convenient YouTube username of Hybrid Dad says, I like Hollywood. He has the best QB in the NFL. Definitely has 101 upside. I appreciate that bit. That's good. That's good commitment to the bet. I like that. I like that there's using your burner accounts for evil or for good, right? Like there's the guys that keep getting banned, who's the guy from the Swolecast? Pete's Card Shop on his 19th account. But then there's the people who use their burners for bits and to quickly spin up an account named Hybrid Dad. I like that. All right, Debo goes at pick 58 in this draft. Ooh, look at that. So already setting up the Jaden to Debo stack. See, that's how you have fun. That's how you have fun on a Monday morning. You set up the Jaden to Debo. All right, I need to pour some more coffee. I'm going to give the people, I know there's some Ducks heads out here. Let's give the people a little bit of Ducks. Little coffee, little Ducks. I listened back to some of the audio when I uploaded the podcast, and the Ducks seemed a little loud. So we're going to go a little lighter this time. All right. You guys hear the Ducks? I don't have my headphones in right now, so I can't hear them. Let me check my speaker. All right. So we got some Ducks. Let's get some coffee. The ADP chasing crew will be live today around noon Eastern, right after this show. They'll be going through all the combine risers and fallers, looking at the ADPs at a more granular level than I am here today. So if you guys are interested in that, make sure you guys pop over to Ship Chasing. Yes, I told April what happened to Debo. I told that story at the top of the show. Yes, I was very excited to let April know that Debo got a change of scenery. Hybrid Dad says, y'all too good at bit spotting. I should have added a pic with a wife or something. That would have been a little more impressive. Hybrid Dad already waving the white flag on the bit. I think it was thinking about I've rarely auto drafted a best ball team. Like it almost never happens. One of my other infamous auto draft stories was the opening of Best Ball Mania 2. I was in Miami with Underdog. We did this big kickoff stream and show. That was when Adam Schefter gave Jack a really weird look when he was talking about Kareem Hunt. I forget the exact quote. But anyways, that night that Best Ball Mania 2 launched, I hopped in one of the drafts and I fell asleep while drafting it. You know, we had been drinking. It was late at night and I auto drafted the full team. Ended up being one of my better Best Ball Mania 2 teams. It even got flagged by Underdog because it had so much closing line value relative to ADP in that first draft. So that's really the only other time I can remember auto drafting a full team on Underdog. You know, I've auto drafted, you know, BRs, the shorter ones. But that was special. All right, let's get some rookies here. Let's actually have some fun. Should we do Burden? Should we do Egbuka? Let's grab Burden here as our wide receiver 3 at pick 72. And we could just double it up. Should we go Egbuka? Let's do this. I'm going to make amends for my unsexy draft last time. We're going to double tap 2 rookies here. This is for the people. We're going Luther Burden, Emeka Egbuka at the 6-7 turn. And now we have a 2-4-1 through 7 rounds. No quarterbacks. JT and Chuba at running back. Jamar Chase, Zay Flowers, Luther Burden, Emeka Egbuka, and Trey McBride at tight end.
Okay, let's break down this revised draft and analyze it for a...
So somehow my phone just picked this up in this Ask Gemini. It says, let's break down this revised draft and analyze it for a more sexy appeal, as you put it. We'll focus on the strengths, potential weaknesses, and overall perception. I literally have AI trying to pull a Steph and grade my team before it's even done. I'm dead serious. Literally, this is what AI is already taking over. Securing Jonathan Taylor is a significant improvement. Both have high ceilings and can be top-tier performers. This duo provides a strong foundation for your team. This is a great improvement over most running back rooms. Jamar Chase is a premier wide receiver 1. He's a consistent producer with explosive potential. Trey McBride had a very good year and is poised to have another great year. He is a very good tight end to have. Thank you, Gemini. Oh, here's the rub, though. The shoe's always going to have to drop. The absence of a quarterback is the most glaring issue. In most leagues, you'll need a reliable quarterback to compete. Depending on when you draft your quarterbacks, you could still get a very good one. There's a section called Sexy Appeal. I kid you not. The presence of high-profile players like Jamar Chase and Jonathan Taylor definitely adds to the team's sex appeal. These are the players that many fantasy managers covet. But maybe you should have selected Hollywood Brown 101. Okay, that part wasn't true. But every other part, the goddamn AI robots are listening to me draft a team and then trying to give me a Steph Miller-esque grade in real time. Yeah, I think I like, if I have to choose between who's grading my drafts, my AI overlords at Google/Android or Steph, I'm taking them. I'm taking them. Sorry, Steph. Is that AI or are you just reading a text from Leone? Pete, are you worried about being replaced? I am. I think what I'll do, I feel like I could create, I just get like a broomstick and I just put like the Davis Maddock wig and like a cardboard cutout, like a fat head of me dressed as Davis. And then I let AI do all of the drafting and talking. And I can just fuck off to the beach, sipping pina coladas. Looks like we have about 300 people watching live here for Best Ball Breakfast. I am here every Monday morning at 10 a.m. Eastern, except next Monday, because I will be traveling back from San Diego. So we're going to postpone next week's Best Ball Breakfast to Tuesday. But if you guys aren't subscribed to the channel, please subscribe. Got a bunch of other shows that we do weekly around here as well, including Lulz, a DFS sports betting inside baseball gossip rag, if you will. We got Off and On the Clock with the Badge Bros. We've been bouncing around to various sports. If you're looking to get in the MLB baseball streets or the NBA playoff baseball streets, we have video primers, strategy guides for those the past couple of weeks. You can find that on the channel. And then we got the premium shows, the After Dark interviews each weekend, bringing on guests, friends that I want to catch up with around the industry. All right, we are about to pick here. Should we get some Rashid Shaheed? How about as a tribute to Cooterdoodle, who I just mentioned I had on After Dark. She got to meet Rashid Shaheed at the Super Bowl. He signed her 3 jerseys, got the lowdown on how that all came about on After Dark. So we'll go ahead and do Rashid Shaheed here as my wide receiver 5. And let's see, should we do Mark Andrews and Zay Flowers together? I think we can still kind of rock this double anchor RB with JT and Chuba. Let's go ahead and grab Mark Andrews here. We'll go Mark Andrews and Trey McBride. A 2024 bully tight end pairing that we're now getting at a more cheaper cost here with Andrews at pick 97. Still no quarterback though. Thinking through our quarterback options, it's not very pretty. It's not very pretty. We missed out on Kyler. Kyler went 2 picks ahead to the Marvin Harrison drafter. So we're probably going to have to be in the market for some backdoor stacks here. We're going to have to figure out the quarterback situation coming up. Christian says, Pete, sorry if a dumb question. Where in Discord do you let us know when you join your draft rooms? Yeah, not a dumb question. Let me share my screen. You know what? What's the best way I can do this? Let me just pop in and share the screen of the Discord, and then you'll be able to see here. All right. This is the Discord in here, the Deposit Kingdom Discord. And over in, let me pull this off so you can see it. This is the channel, the Best Ball Breakfast channel right here. I hit the alert, BB draft alerts. If you go in here to pinned, let's see, where can I find it? I thought I had the alert. Yeah, and you scroll down to the pin, you hit jump up here. This is where you can select to be alerted. So if you click this coffee cup, when I use the tag BB alerts like I did here, you will get a tag essentially. And then if you're wondering about how to sync your account, in the FAQ here, there are instructions. So if you become a YouTube member, this right here describes how to sync your account. YouTube membership gated. And then if you're a Best Ball Value Hound on the YouTube channel, then you will have access to this channel, and then I'll tag you guys in there. Hopefully that helps. Troy says some of my best drafts have been through auto this past weekend. Have you been willingly auto drafting? Can never open the DMs on stream. You should see some of the smut I get. Some of my Twitter, the Twitter DMs right now are truly it's like all spam. It's all like here. I'll show you the Twitter DMs like in the message requests. Matilda, hey, lots of like crypto bullshit stuff. Hi, Maddie. Maddie says, hey there, Peter. Do I want to promote your account? Peter, we take care of bookkeeping. Hey, we have a great position open for our NFT project. Look at this one. Jay Williams, marketing manager. We need a paid shield tweet for our client, offering $200 for one tweet. Interested? Should I send him to Davis Maddock? Hang on, I'm on the clock. We got to make some picks here. Okay, yes, he came back this time. I got sniped on my guy, Travis Hunter, last one. He makes it back to me this time. You cannot tell me that this isn't the sexy, fun team here. We got Burden, Igbuka, and Travis Hunter. All right, we're going to need a quarterback, though. Who can we backstack of these quarterbacks? I feel like I need to take a quarterback here. Should I take naked Dak? Should I take Penix? I'm just going to take Dak here. I'm now the naked quarterback guy. That's going to get me. You know what? Steph's going to hate that. She's going to give me a bad grade until you realize that she's a Cowboys homer and she's actually going to like that pick. All right, let's recap this team since we've had a lot going on, including looking at spam DMs here. We did grab a quarterback, Dak Prescott. I think there's a real chance you get shut out coming all the way back around to 144 there in a way that could just fully kill the team. So let's just get a safe and stable asset with Dak. We still only have our two running backs, Jonathan Taylor and Chuba, which I think is fine with those two anchor running backs. And then we'll start spraying at running back down the stretch. And we built out a fun wide receiver room. You can't tell me this isn't fun. Jamar Chase, Zay Flowers, Luther Burden, Igbuka, Rashid Shaheed, and Travis Hunter. Tight end, Trey McBride, and Mark Andrews. So we're going to have to figure out some quarterback stuff and start getting after some of these running backs, but otherwise in good shape. Zach says, at the top of the stream, I said everyone's going to be rookie thirsty, so vets are the best picks. Second draft takes all the rookie wide receivers. It's true. Although, correct me, did any of these guys even do anything at the combine? Obviously, Hunter didn't. I didn't hear much about Burden and Igbuka. Did those guys even do anything at the combine? You'll be pleased to know you're a cokehead in the auto draft room. Wonderful. Yeah, let's go see how my auto draft team is doing. Jalen, oh my God. I think I have my positional limit set though, so I should be done at quarterback. Jalen Hurts, Patrick Mahomes, and Caleb Williams. Jahmyr Gibbs, Breece Hall, James Conner. Honestly, Ladd, Keenan, Jalen Coker. Oh no. George Kittle, Jonnu Smith, Dallas Goedert. Oh no. Do I have my, what do I have my positional limits? 3 quarterbacks, 7 running backs, 9. So I'm done at quarterback and tight end. So hopefully I'm just getting running backs and wide receivers the rest of the way. Burden ran a 4.41, but didn't do any other athletic testing. Yeah, so see, it's when you're grabbing the rookies who didn't make a splash. I mean, where did Golden go in this draft? Golden went. Where is he? Matthew Golden went at 78. So 5 picks after I took Igbuka. Cokehead is a wide receiver 3. That's what we call a no-no. Blame Hybrid Dad. Hybrid Dad really tried to ruin my morning. We have someone in the chat named Poopo Frap who talks in the third person and says things like GM, Poopo Frap approve of 210. Glad to know. Glad to know. Has Tuten gone yet? Where did we go on this one? Yeah, he's long gone. He is long gone. All right, Tuten went at 115. These draft rooms are really trying to push my defense of the people drafting Tuten at his new price. I swear every single time it just keeps getting higher and higher. 115, huh? All right. All right. Let's see here. So Bryce Young goes again because I was like, man, I can do Bryce Young with Leggett. I can do Bryce Young with Coker, but Jake Twitch knows what he's doing. Jake Twitch, you sneaky little bastard. He knows I should really, this is what I should do. If I was in a really vengeful mood, I would do that, but I'm not. I'm not. Maybe this is this a Cam Ward selection where it's like, we're not going to be able to get a stacking thing anyways. Let's go ahead and take Cam Ward. All right, we select Cam Ward. Probably need to grab another running back at this point. Let's go ahead and we'll grab Spears. Spears is our running back 3. He slipped a good chunk past ADP. Spears ADP of 132. We grab him at 145. Here's the team so far. It is, it's sexy in that it has a lot of rookies. It is unsexy in the stacking department. Naked Dak and then Cam Ward. 3 running backs, JT, Chuba, Spears. Wide receiver, Jamar Chase, Zay Flowers, Luther Burden, Igbuka, Rashid Shaheed, Travis Hunter, and then Trey McBride and Mark Andrews at tight end. Ooh, yeah, this is a good call. We got leave it to the farmer to know about daylight savings time. Yeah. What is it, next Sunday? Do I want some Coke? Nope. I let Jake Twitch. Jake knew what he was doing. It was really kind of a jerk move on a team like mine that needed quarterback, that needed stacking, that had already taken Chuba. I'm offended. I'm offended. I think this is my first Cam Ward share. How are we feeling about Cam Ward? Could I have do we think the Titans could take Cam Ward 101 and I missed out on Bryce Young with Chuba, but I just got Cam Ward with Tajay Spears. Can we talk ourselves into that? Isaiah Bond goes at 154. Did Isaiah Bond, was he on record saying he was going to beat Xavier Worthy's 40 time and then couldn't even come close? Tough scene. Tyler says Cam Ward 101 to the Giants or the Raiders. So that means I got to take Wan'Dale Robinson with him. Is that the play to get my Cam Ward back stack? Wow. Steph says Bond sucks. Steph probably loved Bond until Saturday. Steph's the real, what have you done for me lately? And now she's pissed because he's not the fastest player on the planet. Steph, how do you feel about evolving into one of the foils of Best Ball Breakfast? Dare I say a John Cena-esque heel turn from Steph? Look at that. You guys surprised I know wrestling? And by no wrestling, I mean scrolling through my Twitter feed and seeing people talking about the insane John Cena heel turn. Jalen Hyatt Martingale. Man, I have not heard that name in a hot minute. What is his ADP? Jalen Hyatt. It's not even an ADP. It's when Underdog cuts off ADP 240. John Stefana. Steph Cold Steve Austin. I like these. Let's keep the Steph wrestling puns coming. Let's see. Did we get any wide receivers on our other team? We've added, looks like we got another share. We got James Conner, Dylan Sampson, Tyler Algier. Oh, we added another Jalen Coker, Adam Thielen team. God damn it. I don't want any. I'm queuing up wide receivers. I don't want any more running backs. It's wide receivers the rest of the way. So I'm only semi-auto drafting this. You know you've hit rock bottom when you're starring Tez Johnson. Ugh. All right, we're on the clock in our other draft. We're on the clock. We still need running backs. Jerome Ford now slips like 20 picks past ADP. We can go ahead and grab Jerome Ford as our 4th running back. I am not selecting Adam Thielen again. I am just completely opposed. Should we do double rookie wide quarterbacks? Like if we're not going to be stacking, should we just do Shedeur? Let's do it. This is the all rookie team. It's the all rookie team who didn't participate at the combine. Cam Ward, Shedeur Sanders, rookie quarterbacks. No rookie running backs yet. We'll fix that. 3 rookie wide receivers, Luther Burden, Mecca Ibuka, Travis Hunter. Last draft, we took the 2 Etienne brothers. This draft, we take the 2 CU players who are going to go top 5 in the draft. There you go. If you can't stack, just draft rookies. And then you're absolved of all stacking obligations. I don't, he's a rookie. I don't know where he's going to go. Who am I supposed to stack him with? All right. I am going to pour one more cup of coffee for this show. Last one. Last coffee pour until next Tuesday. Honestly, I thought that was a pretty good pour. I honestly thought that was a pretty good pour. And I'm not one to toot my own horn on the pours. I let you guys kind of be the judge, but I will just say, for calling my shot, the last pour until next Tuesday, thought it was decent. Here's the full team so far. I just listed off the rookies. We got Dak Prescott, Cam Ward, and Shedeur Sanders at quarterback. We got 4 running backs, our 2 anchors up top, Jonathan Taylor and Chuba Hubbard. And then we've gone with Tajay Spears and Jerome Ford. We have this rookie-heavy wide receiver room, Jamar Chase, Zay Flowers, Luther Burden, Emeka Ibuka, Rashid Shaheed, and Travis Hunter. And then our tight ends, Trey McBride and Mark Andrews. Definitely going to be adding some rookie running backs here. McVay confirms Higbee is returning to the Rams. All right. Poopo Frap wishing me a nice vacation. Just remember, Cozy Cottage doesn't take any days off. It's true. It's true. Cozy Cottage works harder than me. It's undeniable. I have to hold the L when it's a fair criticism, and Cozy Cottage does work harder than me. That pour makes me want to click Hollywood. Hybrid Dad. I'm trying to think if we can elevate this bit to a point where you can keep coming back in the chat each week as Hybrid Dad, or if this one is just going to have a crash landing. Speaking of crash landing, yeah, who was our pilot? I'm forgetting their name now. Who was the pilot who was auto drafting that I got really upset at? Ray Garvey. Is that it? Ray G. Harvey, Ray Garvey. Maybe. Do another. It's going to get refunded. I think you're behind stream, Little Dodger. We already bailed on that draft. We're on our new draft. That is not getting Ed Garvey. Thank you. We can check in on the Push the Plane team. It's still going. I queued up a ton of wide receivers because I'm done after Gibbs, Brees, James Conner, Dylan Sampson, Algier. We've since added, so we have Ladd and Keenan, Jalen Coker, Adam Thielen. This is the most eliminator-ass wide receiver room I've ever seen. But then we had Troy Franklin and Savion Williams. These are the kind of teams that like crushed last year. Like just jacked up, elite quarterback, like 4 high-end running backs, a bunch of shitty, boring veteran wide receivers. That was the meta last year for sure. All right, we're about to pick one pick away here. All right, now we're on the clock. Who called it? Do I just draft Jordan James on every team? Is that what we want to do? Jordan James. Let's grab Jordan James. Said I wanted a rookie running back. Do we select Javonte Williams? Like, where are we at on Javonte Williams right now? I can't select Javonte Williams. Like, I'd rather take La Quinta, right? Let's take La Quinta. I just can't, like, I said I needed some rookie wide receivers. I'm not selecting Javonte Williams. We take Jonathan Taylor, Chuba Hubbard, Tajay Spears, Jerome Ford, and we double tap Jordan James and La Quinta Allen there. We had to get some youth in this room. We are now up to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 rookies after receiving a lot of fair allegations. After receiving a lot of fair criticisms that last draft was boring and unsexy, we have tried to course correct. We did see quite the run of rookie running backs before I selected Brashard Smith at 184, Damian Martinez 188, DJ Giddens 189, and then I grabbed James and La Quinta at 192, 193. I love you, little Dodger, but you're living you're living in the past. You're chatting about things we all discussed about 35 minutes ago. What's up, Steve? Oh yeah, you're Popo, right? James was a big faller at the combine. Yeah, falling right into my lap in every draft. Steph, did I watch the combine? Does it sound like I watched the combine at all? No. Why would I watch the combine? Sorry, Lauren and April. I know that this is our day traditionally to get to hang out, spend time together, do activities. Sorry, April, can't go to that puppet show. I got to watch Isaiah Bond run the 40. I know it's not going to have any material difference on anything I do, but not going to be able to join us for the family outing because I got to see what's going on with Gunnar Helm. Sorry, babe. You guys go and get lunch. I got to review. I got to zoom in on these ankle photos that Ian Rappaport just posted of Gunnar Helm's ankle. I can't talk to you guys right now. I need to figure out what is going on with Gunnar Helm's ankle and whether he is still a viable NFL prospect. Paul says a hybrid dad can do both. Ladies and gentlemen, chat, take a bow. That is how you do a bit full circle. The chat, take a bow, specifically Paul. And scene. Did you speak on the Debo trade? I did. I didn't speak specifically about his pricing in our first draft. Or no, this is still this draft. So yeah, the Jaden Daniels drafter took him at in the late fifth round. I think same thing with the rookies. Like Debo's going to be too expensive immediately following this trade, but it is an undeniably good landing spot. All right, we got a 3-6-6-2. We are picking at the 18-19 turn. What do we think here? Seeing a lot of running backs and tight ends on my board. I don't know if that's what we need. We definitely need some wide receivers. I think this is like a team where we take a boring wide receiver to balance all of these rookies. Maybe a little DeVaughn Vele in here. Do a little DeVaughn Vele mix in. Just get us some bankable targets. Who else should we take? Do another Torrey Horton. We could do Elijah Moore, Tez Johnson, Ricky White. What should we do? Torrey Horton? I think we drafted him last time too. I think you guys, somebody got me hyped up on Torrey Horton. Man, wide receiver sure just... This is like the grossest bunch of names. Ricky White, Tez Johnson, Elijah Moore, Tyler Lockett, Kayshon Boutte. Maybe I should have taken Boutte. He could have been my DeVaughn Vele ass pick to balance out all the rookies. To be clear, I am not shaming people who watch the combine. Maybe this is what I will shave people with families who watch the combine. Maybe that's the distinction I will make. It's more Steph being surprised that I didn't watch the combine. I have no problem. I'm not going to police how people spend their free time. I am absolutely not going to be the police of that. But I am going to police it for myself. Because I think it was a ridiculous... Like, Steph was trying to get me like, did you even watch the combine? No. I'm going to be able to get all the same information as Sus said here, scanning. I mean, in 30 seconds. It'll take me about a week, and then I'll get caught up on all of the stuff. I'll read a few articles over on Fantasy Life. I'll listen to a podcast about risers and fallers, and then I will have had a wonderful weekend with my family while also knowing all of the appropriate combine news. In it also, I will tell you, what have we been seeing with the post-combine risers in this draft? I think it is a feature, not a bug, to not have insane rookie hype right now post-combine, says the guy who just took 8 rookies in this draft. But let the prices chill out, come back around, and then we can start drafting all of our combine risers. I think you always have to be aware of people that tell you they had sex. Tyler telling us he had sex. I start to worry that the lady doth protest too much. Ooh, speaking of exciting things, Dwayne just tweeted out the supermodel is now live for this draft class. Talk about another thing that can help us expedite and weigh these tools. I am very excited for this. Let me get into these models here. All right. I need to sign in here. Yeah, so Dwayne had been teasing out some of these pre-combine, but now obviously some of this stuff helps. Looks like he has Jeanty, Omarion Hampton, Travion Henderson, Judkins, Caleb Johnson as his top 5 in the model. Tuten up to running back 8, but still behind Sampson and Scatabo in his model. DJ Giddens, there's my guy, Trevor Etienne, top 10. Let me make sure I don't miss my pick here while I look at the supermodel updates. Let's check out wide receiver. Travis Hunter, he has number 1, Tet, not far behind him. Luther Burden and Igbuka, they're 3-4. Golden still 5, despite that 40-time. Trey Harris. And then, then gets down to Alec. How do you say this guy's name? Isle Maynor. Isaiah Bond, Jaden Higgins, Jack Beck. I saw Beck in the rankings a bit ago. Let's see the tight ends. Tyler Warren, Colston Loveland, Harold Fannin Jr., Mason Taylor. There's our guy, Mason Taylor, we keep drafting, and Elijah Arroyo. I saw Terrence Ferguson had a really nice combine, so he's up to 6 in this. All right, we have our final pick. We have our final pick here. Mr. Irrelevant. We're at a 3-6-8-2. Who should we draft? Who should we draft? I'm going to let the chat make our choice here. You guys can make our choice. I feel like other than quarterback, it could be any position. Who should I draft? Khalil Mullings, Will Shipley, Mason Taylor, Tyler Higbee, Noah Gray, Ricky White, Tez Johnson, Elijah Moore, Tyler Lockett. Throw out someone inspired. Ty Felton, never heard of this person. Does someone have a better suggestion than Ty Felton? Noel? Noel's gone. All right, Ty is the consensus. Tell me what I just drafted. Who is Ty Felton? Okay, well, this seems encouraging if we're watching him do a flip after all the drills. What is this? Okay, all right. I'm in. All right, so he had the second highest RAS score of the entire 2025 class. All right, I like this. Jaden Higgins, 9.87. Ty Felton, 9.6. The Ellick Io Maynor guy, 9.56. Torrey Horton, who we took, 9.4. All right. Trey Harris, 9.02. So we ran a 4.38 40-yard dash, 39.5 vertical jump, and 10 feet, 10-inch broad jump. Did someone tell me that Tyquan Thornton's, is it his cousin or his brother, had an incredible combine? He's like 6'5" and ran a 4.3 440 or something. All right. 1,124 yards and 9 TDs last year. Tyquan Thornton's cousin. There you go. Ty Lopez. God, that guy's now popping up in like in a bunch of like paid advertisements. If you guys don't remember him from the initial like altcoin craze, like, I don't know, 7 or 8 years ago, he was one of the principal scammers. And now he's back. He's doing AI content now. Ty Lopez. Anyways, Historical Anomaly says, well, actually, had a pretty nice Saturday. We're going to Home Depot, buy some wallpaper, maybe get some flooring, stuff like that. Maybe Bed Bath & Beyond. I don't know if we will. That's a good reference. All right. Here's the deal. I have to go and get some final packing stuff because I'm headed to the airport in like 30 minutes. The ADP chasing crew is going to be live here in a few minutes. So you can just head over there and watch them. I have the redirect set up. So if you want to just stay right here, you should be redirected over there. Like I said, housekeeping there. No more shows for me the rest of the week other than a hoops focused show later in the week from San Diego for Off and On the Clock, live there from the Dog Bowl. Otherwise, I'm going to see you guys back here for Best Ball Breakfast next Tuesday. We'll do 10 a.m. next Tuesday. Shout out to Ben Havard there, who donated $100 for us to do a biggest board, I should say. So we will be doing that next Tuesday. And if you guys want the audio premium feed, you can check that out on Spotify. I have it in the show notes now, as well as pinned in the chat. And I will make sure I will load up my devices with every piece of combine footage, Steph, from this weekend, and I will watch them on my cross-country flight to San Diego today and make sure that I get caught up to speed. Otherwise, have a great rest of your week. Happy drafting, and we'll see you guys around on Best Ball Breakfast. Peace.